By this point, I think we all know that the only things keeping Nintendo afloat are its exclusives. It's Mario's, it's Zelda's. No, not that one, shut up. Anyway, my point is, exclusives are very important to Nintendo, but what about the ones that no one talks about? Here are some third-party games that released exclusively for Nintendo systems. Released in 2008, Geometry Wars Galaxies, which I talked about in a previous video, is a version of Geometry Wars made exclusively for the Nintendo DS and Wii, and it's a perfectly serviceable way to play Geometry Wars. If you didn't have a 360 back in the day and all you had was a Wii, this is a good title. Is it as good as the mainline series? No, but it's pretty good. However, the same cannot be said for MMs Cart Racing, released on the Wii in 2007 and on the DS the next year. This is one of those weird mascot games from the 2000s, and one of a couple different M&M's titles. It's a really bad kart racer. Not the worst kart racer out there. Homie Rollers is by far worse, but it's definitely not good. Speaking of which, here's Homie Rollers, a kart racer released exclusively for the Nintendo DS, and it's even worse than MMs Cart Racing. Now, apparently, and I did not know this back in the day, this was actually based off a line of toy products just called Homies. I didn't know these were a real thing. I thought they were just a joke in that one episode of the Venture Brothers.
I made the purchase of this homeboy figurine from the vending machines in your sitting room.
Now, does knowing that make this game any better? No, it's still terrible, with a bad soundtrack and even worse visuals. The visuals you're seeing right now are upscaled through an emulator. It looked way worse in reality. What a mess. However, if you thought that MMs Cart Racing was the only M&M's tie-in game to make this list, you'd be wrong. We also have 2007's MMs Breakout, released for the DS and Game Boy Advance. It's kind of like a really bad version of Breakout, and I'm ashamed to say that I actually own this game. Back in the day, I picked this up at GameStop for $2 in a bargain bin, and I still feel ripped off. This thing was terrible. So those were some weird Nintendo exclusive games made by third-party developers. There's so many more to go over. I've got more than enough material for a part 2 and probably also a part 3, so stay tuned for that in the future, and of course, have a wonderful rest of your day.